YouTube, how we doing? PPS back here, just the 13th of October. We're coming at you guys live for our YouTube Play of the Day video. Today, it's going to be an interesting Play of the Day video. I haven't done one with this combo before. We're going with the MLB, and I'm going with a college football play. So we're going to have, obviously, college football. We have an NFL bet that we already posted over on the Pass the Prop show. Make sure you go check that out. That is already up. And we're going to have an MLB playoff bet. So we're going to be all over the place today, and I really like that. Obviously, I have Europa soccer this morning as well. So we're kind of all over the place today. So I'm very excited to break that down and be all over and being able to check different scoreboards and stuff like that. Before we get started, if you guys could, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Closing in on 1,400 subs. Hopefully, we'll be flying past that number and up to 1,500 before we know it here. So let's recap last show. Guardians, Yankees, first 5 over. This was brutal. They ended up scoring all of the runs. Ended up getting to 5 in the 6th inning off of Cal Quantrill, which was, everything came to fruition a little bit later than we had hoped. I did have Quantrill, I think, under 16 and a half outs. So thank God he got blown up early on in that 6th inning and ended up getting out of there before then. But we did have Dansby and Trey Turner. This one was looking a little sketchy, I'm not going to lie. Dansby got the golden sombrero through his first 4 at-bats. Luckily, it was a high-scoring game, and we got that 5th AB, and he came through for us. Trey Turner does Trey Turner things, man. Hit a homer in that game. He's been all over the place for these guys. He's been fantastic. I think I stopped watching when it was like 3. He was 2 for 2 with a homer and a single there. These games just get so late, and that's one sucky part about being Midwest. So we gotta stay up super late to watch all those West Coast games. But yeah, we're coming at you. Hopefully, I think we got juiced out by like 0.06 units. So pretty much a wash on that one. But coming into today, I actually like both these plays quite a bit. First one's pretty obvious. I'm going Framber Alex again. 25 straight before his last 3 outings. I also think that he would have easily crushed this number if it wasn't the last game of the year in his Phillies outing. I think this number would be a lot different if the Astros let him go, right, in that last outing. Because it looks pretty bad right now, right? He's missed this in 3 straight games. Had a little bit of walk issues in the Baltimore and Tampa Bay game. In that Baltimore game, he gave up 11 hits. It's obviously the most he's given up by a lot. But the thing is there's been a lot of outings. In that run of 25 straight quality starts, he's had multiple 7-hit games, 8-hit games against him. But the thing with him is he's got such a wicked sinker that he's just getting ground balls and getting out of these innings with little to no damage. I have no issue thinking that he's going to just absolutely carve up Seattle here. He's given up 3 runs in both of the outings, both his last outings against Seattle. But he's gone 6 2/3 in 7 innings. He had 15 strikeouts through 13 2/3. One thing I do think is important here is I think we're going to see Framber go a little bit deeper in this game with Verlander getting hit around like he did, right? Obviously, there is a day of rest in between, but I think Framber is going to go out there, and if he gets into a tough spot, he's been in a lot of tough situations, right? Verlander, I do not expect what happened to Verlander to happen here against Seattle this outing here. Seattle ranks in the bottom 10 in batting average and in the bottom half of the league in OPS versus lefties. I told you about Framber's prior success against these guys, and I think that's going to continue here. His stuff is just too good to be giving up what he's been giving up these last 2 outings. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. Baltimore is obviously very good against lefties. And Tampa Bay ended up working the count and getting him out of there in 5 1/3. Had 9 hits and he walked 3 guys there. But the reason why I'm a little bit more confident is that Phillies outing. We've seen Philly. They've been doing very well in the playoffs, 1-1 heading into game 3. And he went 5 innings, 2 hits, and had 10 Ks. And only 1 walk. That's the most important thing for me. So I think Framber's back on track. I think this is going to be a very fun game. He absolutely lights it up at home. So sign me up. Framber Valdez over 17.5 outs. Giving me a great price over on DK at -110. All right, guys, we're putting our college football on the line here. That is our numbers for the year so far. I'm heading to UCF. I think there's going to be a lot of money on the full game over our full game line, and I think I'm going to take that too. But I'm more confident in this first half. I love UCF. I've backed them quite a bit, and what I was really happy to see is how well Richard or Plumlee threw the ball against SMU. SMU stacked the box. They made sure that they could not run on them. Unfortunately, I was on the rushing yards for Plumlee in that game as a Pine prop, but I really think that they're going to blow this team up. Unfortunately, this Temple team their offense is so bad, so bad. I mean, I'm trying to say it nicely here. They're 2-3, which is baffling to me. Their only wins are against UMass, who is 1-5 and playing in an absolute shit conference there. They played against Lafayette and beat them, and they're not very good either, right? So there's really not much to look at here. I think Lafayette's like 2-4 or 1. Yeah, I think it's 2-4. But this team cannot score the football, right? Those two teams are very low-end Division I teams. Played against Duke, 30-0. Played against Rutgers, they lost 16-14, and against Memphis, 24-3. Their defense keeps them in games. I'll give them that. But they have a -6 turnover differential. They can't turn you over. They have had 3 quarterbacks throw the ball so far this season, and obviously none of them doing very well. They have more interceptions than touchdown passes. That's not something you really want to see either. And their rushing game is averaging only 2.7 yards per carry. This UCF defense is going to absolutely eat these guys alive, dude. They are so good across the board here, right? Also, if we want to go into head-to-head, I know a lot of people like trends and stuff like that. The Knights are 7-2 against Temple in their last 9 and 6-3 against the spread in those games. And then we're seeing in those last 9 games, 40-23 is the average score here. There's no way Temple scores 23 points in this. Obviously, those are last 8 or 9 seasons here, but this Temple offense is much worse than it's been in the past. UCF is electric. They're top 50 in both offensive, defensive efficiency, which is something I was really not expecting to have to say here. UCF is 30th in the country in scoring at almost 36 points per game, almost 500 yards of total offense, and almost 252 yards of rushing. That's how much they're rushing per game, right? 230 through the air with Plumlee. But like I said, SMU made them pass. And I think that's what Temple's going to make them do here again. And we just saw SMU get absolutely shredded by Plumlee through the air. Plumlee ended up with like over 300 passing yards. They had one of the receivers eclipse 130 receiving yards, which is not something you usually hear in a UCF game because they are so ground heavy. I just think that UCF has the advantage everywhere. I don't see how Temple's going to score. When they have played, and obviously I'm talking about their real Division I games here. This is going to be outside of that. Oh, God, I can't remember. This team is so bad I can't even remember their team name. When they played Lafayette, outside of Lafayette, they have not scored over 7 points in the first half this season. Even when they played against UMass in their win, they scored 21 points in the second half. So I'm taking this first half to the bank. I love this spot for UCF. I don't see Temple scoring any points, scoring enough to make me worry or make me sweat on UCF not scoring here. I also like the turnovers that UCF has been forcing here. I think they're tied 6-6 in turnover differential here, but I do like that Temple cannot turn you over defensively, and we've seen UCF cover as a big favorite. They covered already as over a 24-point favorite in their only game with that big of a line. So they have the ability to blow you up. They have the ability to cover pretty much any line here, especially against a team who can't score, right? And the only loss this year for UCF was against Louisville, and they only allowed 20 points in that game. So that defense is elite. It's very, very good. I just think they're going to be flying around and really making this a tough day for Temple. So sign me up, UCF, first half -13.5. I will be playing the full game, 23.5 as well. I think both lines are great. I think UCF is the way to go in this one. So Whew, a lot of talk in there. Framber Valdez for the recap, over 17.5 outs, -110, and UCF -13.5 for the first half, -115. Again, guys, if you could, please smash that like button if you're still with me. 10 minutes today. I appreciate all you guys popping in and showing the support. You guys are the best. And if you haven't checked out Pass the Prod, make sure you do that. I have 2 plays for you guys over there as well for NFL. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. I know you're best tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully live for Pass the Prod.